Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The World Health Organization has officially declared the coronavirus outbreak a global pandemic as the infection spreads in more countries. Here in Tasmania, we're only dealing with our third confirmed case, but that's led to an alert for passengers on an incoming flight and students at the university.
Touching down on Sunday night, a flight from Sydney to Hobart. On board, a passenger who subsequently was diagnosed with Tasmania's third confirmed coronavirus case.
A woman in her 30s tested positive for coronavirus yesterday, and she's currently in the Royal Hobart Hospital in a stable condition.
The woman starting her journey in South America before flying here on Jetstar flight JQ727.
Public Health Services has received a manifest from the airline, which is a list of the passengers, their seat number and their contact details, and has commenced contacting people.
On Monday and Tuesday, she visited the University of Tasmania at Sandy Bay, spending several hours in the library and visiting Lazenby's cafe. She was tested late Tuesday in self-quarantine ever since.
The risk to other members of the public who are at these venues at the same time is very low. But again, anyone who was at those venues at those times and feels unwell in the 14 days after this last Monday should call the Public Health Hotline.
It comes as globally the virus escalates, overnight declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization.
We're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction.
Here, the government's opened 2 more specialist clinics in Burnie and Latrobe. Benefits of a federal stimulus package expected to flow to Tasmania.
There are 60,000 or around 60,000 small to medium business enterprises in Tasmania. And we need to make sure that they have the support they require from government to cope with the downturn in demand for their goods and their services.
We want to be as prepared as possible, so that is why we have already escalated to level 2. That is why we have planning in place for a range of scenarios should they occur.
RACT's Devonport branch has closed its doors after a staff member was advised to self-isolate. And our GP training provider has cancelled some of its programs to limit the risk.
We feel pulling in all those doctors from community practices into a room where they're face-to-face for training enhances the risk.
Tasmania's 2 other confirmed cases remain in a stable condition. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
The University of Tasmania has assured its plans to move into the Launceston and Burnie CBDs are still going ahead, despite the organisation facing financial troubles. The state government says it is confident the multi-million-dollar relocations will go ahead.
Years in the making, the big move to Inveresk is finally underway. The UTAS relocation in Launceston is worth a whopping $260 million. But following Tuesday's announcement of a massive course shake-up, there are questions on whether it will impact the project.
It would be great for the North if the university did come out and emphatically endorse what's happening in Inveresk and give it that strong future.
In a statement, UTAS said the new strategy would not impact the new campuses in Burnie or Launceston. The government remains confident, although it hadn't received any advice about it as of this morning.
No, they haven't, and there's no concerns about those projects because they're not dependent on the current work that the university is doing to ensure that it's not offering courses that students aren't studying.
UTAS has revealed coronavirus could deal an up to $74 million blow to its budget, coinciding with a plan to shrink a clogged curriculum of 514 degrees down to 120 to focus its offerings.
It's actually a really positive thing that the university is saying what we're doing at the moment isn't right, we need to reframe it.
The University Union has broadly welcomed the news, but among the unanswered questions, what impact will the move have on the Sandy Bay relocation? How many staff need to go? Which degrees are being considered to be cut? You'll have to wait for the answers. For the 3rd day in a row, the university declined a request for an interview. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
6 people have been charged following 2 shootings in Launceston. 2 women and 4 men between the ages of 19 and 34 have been charged with drug and driving offences. All have been granted bail. It relates to 2 shootings hours apart in both Kings Meadows and South Launceston this week. Police say it is following a clear line of inquiry. We have an exciting development now for local history buffs, with more historical footage of the Tasmanian tiger uncovered. For more on this story, our reporter Ebony Ablett joins us now. Good evening, Ebony. Just how rare is this type of footage?
Pete, it's incredibly rare. Experts say there are only 7 known video clips of the thylacine. This latest footage to emerge is only a short snippet. Let's take a look at it now. It shows the tiger walking back and forward, giving a good view of how it moves. The 7-second clip is believed to date back to the 1930s and was filmed at Beaumaris Zoo in Hobart. That's the location where the last verified tiger died in captivity in 1936. The species is now listed as presumed extinct. The footage was on 9.5mm film held by the Tasmanian Archives and Heritage Office for some time, but it's been tracked down, digitised and shared by 3 researchers, Gareth Linnard, Brandon Holmes and Mike Williams. Thylacine experts are excited by the discovery.
Extremely rare, and there has been only 7 films of the Tasmanian tiger and 5 from Beaumaris and 2 from London Zoo. So it's extremely rare for the 7 seconds. It's amazing. We're very happy about it.
The thylacine is a creature we're still learning about through historical records like this. 7 seconds of footage may seem like a small discovery, but Pete, it's a part of the puzzle that is one of our most notorious creatures.
Well, it once flew a risky route across Bass Strait. Now a piece of Tasmanian aviation history is preparing for its next journey. The Miss Flinders is being carefully disassembled at the Queen Victoria Gallery and Museum before it's handed over to the Tasmanian Aviation Historical Society.
It started as a commercial aircraft flying passengers and mail from Launceston to Flinders Island in 1932 and continued doing that till about 1934.
The aircraft will head into storage while its new home is being organised. Industry groups say Tasmania has an enormous opportunity to become a world leader in hydrogen production. The state's Hydrogen Industry Alliance believes Bell Bay would be the prime location to build a renewable energy plant.
1, there's available land. 2, it has a deep water port. 3, it's got a very, very skilled workforce in the area.
It says the energy could also generate clean fuel to transform the transport industry. The fight for Tasmanian education funding is hitting our screens, with the Education Union launching a new campaign voiced by students. It's calling on the state government to back away from proposed cuts, resulting in more than $100 million less funding for schools.
The concerns of Tasmanian teachers now featured on screen.
I care about schools, Mr. Gutwin. Do you?
This new Cuts or Care campaign, organised by the Tasmanian Education Union, calling on the government to reverse proposed efficiency dividends, which it says will lead to reduced funding for schools.
We're concerned there's a plan for $109 million over 4 years cut from education. And as a teacher, I'm worried that this is really going to affect our students, the services that we can offer them.
Teachers say they're concerned about the impact it will have, not only on their workloads, but also student experience. They're worried services which could be deemed non-essential, such as school psychologists and social workers, could be the first to go.
Sometimes we talk about what affects students in the classroom, but it's also what support networks we can give to them. So I'd really like to make sure those support networks are in place.
The government says in this time of economic uncertainty, all policy areas are facing similar difficult decisions, but they're working to make sure students aren't disadvantaged by any funding reductions.
We're taking prudent measures to have a very modest efficiency dividend across government agencies. That's being worked through. We've been very transparent about that, but we've been also very clear that those decisions are being made to have minimum impact on schools.
Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
For the unemployed, the rat race to find work can be tiresome, but one Tasmanian agency is trying to find a speedy solution. Similar to speed dating, the unique service in Launceston connects potential employees with employers in the blink of an eye.
It's not your typical job interview, no prolonged introductions, no small talk, no company mission statements, just straight to the point in only 3 minutes.
Today we are here for our annual speed interviewing event.
Similar to speed dating, job seekers racing against the clock to push their case for opportunities with potential employers.
We're just asking them who they are, what they're looking for, what their background is, and I give them a rundown about what I'm looking for, and we see if we're a bit of a match.
After struggling to navigate the cumbersome job market for 6 years, candidate Samantha Saxvik is hoping the swift meetings will speed up a solution.
It's great meeting new people and learning about the industries and stuff like that, and just being able to get my face out to try and get a job, really.
Businesses range from aged care to hotels and even the Hawthorn Football Club. In 1 hour, as many as 20 job interviews could take place. The unemployment rate across the north and northwest currently stands at 6.3%, marginally above the state average. But last year, 70% of the people who raced through the speed interviewing sessions were recruited within 6 months.
We've heard around the tables a few employers have already earmarked some people for future interviews.
Candidates hoping that trend continues again this year.
I'm hoping to get some jobs, or at least one.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
The heat is being turned up at the Theatre Royal for the opening night of a musical parody of best-selling book 50 Shades of Grey. The cast spent this afternoon rehearsing for their first Tasmanian show, with the musical already a sellout right across the world.
We have made this stage musical, which is a parody version of that. Look, I watch the movies and read the books and think they're funny anyway, but this is another level of funny. Everyone should love it.
The 50 Shades show will run in Hobart for the next 3 nights before heading to Devonport next Tuesday. Launceston has been treated to a colourful display of foreign cultures to launch Harmony Day celebrations. The state's Multicultural Council partnering with the University of Tasmania to showcase traditional dances from across the globe. Students also peppered with paint as part of a colour run.
The main aim is to ensure that there's integration and everyone walks together.
Organisers say it is important for a range of cultures to come together, particularly as the coronavirus takes hold across the world.
South Hobart and Olympia say their focus in Saturday's Summer Cup final is on winning the trophy and not on any personal battles. It's their second meeting in the tournament, Olympia winning the group stage match 3-2. A number of players defected from South Hobart to their opponents in the off-season. However, both sides are playing that aspect down.
Certainly not from our perspective, no. I think there are more important things to worry about than in Tassie than any petty bickering.
We'll continue to fight, and we'll play our younger guys, and we'll play our game that we've always played, and we'll fight for every game and see where it takes us.
The final kicks off Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon. This weekend marks the third round of the Tasmanian Netball League season. Fresh off its 16-point win last weekend against Devon, Corana is hoping to overcome fierce rival Cripps in tomorrow night's match at the Kingston Sports Centre.
We've got a pretty new young team this year for Corana, so to get that confidence first up was really good. So heading into next round with a bit of confidence, which is good.
Kingston plays Arrows at Kingston, while the Northern Hawks host Cavaliers at the Silverdome. And Richie Port has finished 14th in the Stage 4 time trial in the Paris-Nice. The Tasmanian is 12 minutes off the pace, but 2 mountainous stages are yet to come.
Good evening. A warm day across much of the state today. Launceston 27, 25 in Hobart, Devonport 23 and 21 in Burnie. 28 was the state's high today, recorded on King Island, 27 on Flinders Island and also at Strawn. The Friendly Beaches 26, St Helens, Smithton, Maria Island and Grove 23, 21 at Ouse and Low Head, Lyowini 19. Convective cloud associated with shower activity was seen around the southeast of Tasmania today. A cloud band near southwest WA is associated with a cold front to the south, and thunderstorms across northern Queensland are due to a tropical low. Tomorrow a cold front is crossing Tasmania during the day. A high pressure system is moving toward the Bight and a ridge extends over Tasmania behind that cold front. A high pressure ridge also dominates the eastern seaboard, and a series of lows and surface troughs still sit over mainland Australia. Winds 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 35 knots later in the day, and seas rising up to 3 metres in the east in the evening. A gale warning for eastern coastal waters from St Helens Point to Tasman Island, and a strong wind warning for all remaining coastal waters, including all southeast inshore waters. A sheep grazier's warning is current for the southeast and east coast forecast districts. Huonville and Hobart tomorrow, showers 23, showers also at Campania 24. Showers increasing in Launceston and Georgetown, 21, 18 and showers in Devonport, Showers and 18 in Burnie, 21 and showers in Strawn, and Wynyard 19, showers there also. St Helens and Swansea 23 tomorrow, showers developing. Port Arthur rain becoming windy 23. The UVs high 7s. Looking ahead to Saturday, light showers about the south and east coasts. Sunday, possible light showers about the south and east, mainly fine elsewhere. And Monday, light showers about the east coast, fine elsewhere. Rain developing in Perth tomorrow, 28, 25 in Adelaide, partly cloudy, a mostly sunny day in Sydney, 26, and Melbourne, windy and 29, expecting a cool change with showers and storms. And Murph, here are the current conditions.